Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine. We are gonna be telling y'all about some great tips. We're on the Own It stage. We are going center stage on the Own It platform and other platforms as well. So I'm gonna just bring in my guests here. I've got some of our subject matter experts that are gonna talk to you about, again, healthy entrepreneurship. This is part 2, y'all. I don't know if you guys were able to see part 1, but part 1 was very powerful. So if you haven't, go back and watch the replay. But let me bring my girls on in here. Hello. Good morning and welcome to our Monday with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics. Coach Tammy and Coach Karen in the house. How are you, ladies?
Fantastic. How are you?
Yes, how are you?
Good. Oh my goodness. Welcome, ladies. Once again, I'm so glad to have y'all in the room talking about healthy entrepreneurship and just how to navigate through this crazy just jungle of running a business, right? I mean, you get pulled from every different direction. So let's just go ahead and get on into it. We shared a little bit last time on, starting the business, what it takes a little bit. We're going to just go a little deeper this time. And if y'all want some more, just let us know in the comments that you guys are eating it up and you want some more. And we will come back to you with more entrepreneurial tips. So let's talk. So what books? Because honestly, we have to find inspiration somewhere, right? We do have our mentors, we've got our different coaches and things like that, but it's all about what you feed your mind, right, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the books that you can recommend for some of these people that are trying to, just jump out and be an entrepreneur? What are some of the books that you guys can recommend? So I'll start with you, Coach Karen.
Awesome. Well, first of all, just thank you for having me. I'm just so grateful to be a part of this focus group and just really sharing what what we've been through with other people, to let them know that even though it might be a task or journey, but just keep pushing forward. So thank you for that and having me on. Well, one of the books that I just finished reading is actually called Jesus Entrepreneur. And this book is really powerful. It's based on the word of God, but it's showing you how Jesus took the journey of entrepreneurship with the 12 disciples. And then in each chapter, you get questions to help you relate or ways you can make differences or things you need to do better. It's just really a nice read. It's an easy read, and it's just going to take you, slowly through the journey. And when you're done, you're going to see some of the things you may need to change or some things that you were doing that you shouldn't be doing. And it really is a powerful book to help you through your journey. And then the second book, which I'm reading, is part of my continuing education for the Certified Holistic Health Coach. And it's John Maxwell, the 12 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And it just breaks down each area and the things you need to do. And again, at the end of each chapter, it asks you questions. The first chapter, it was talking about the particular law of, I think it was addition. Let me just make sure, because I want to make sure I'm saying it right. So bear with me. The law of the lid. So it takes you through the journey. And at the end, it asks you to ask your clients or your team different questions and rate you as a leader and things you need to do better or with things you do differently. So again, it is about leadership and it's about teamwork, because as leaders, our character reflects who we draw. So when you said about feeding our minds, that's a lifestyle navigator that I call. What you put in is what you're going to put out. So that's why it's so important to read things that are going to bring in positivity, because your character is going to reflect that. And it's either going to draw people to you or it's going to push them away. So you want to have that character where you're using your God-given purpose, and you have integrity, and you are a person who they'll know, like, and trust, or take a step back, know, love, and trust personally and professionally.
Oh, awesome. Sounds like 2 very good reads. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. All right, Coach Tammy, what about your books? What books are you recommending to our entrepreneurs out there?
Wow. First, I too want to say thank you so much, Tiffany, for having me on this amazing platform today. It is an honor and a distinction to be here. I don't take it lightly. And I appreciate you so much for sharing, allowing me to share with the audience here. Now, as entrepreneurs, a few classics I want to recommend. One is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Um, Mindset is everything. And just to be able to read this book, Napoleon Hills talks about different principles. You got to have a rich mindset in order to be prosperous, to be successful. And that's one book that I read at the top of the year every year. That would just absolutely keep you in the right mindset as far as an entrepreneur and success. Second book I can recommend, I would say, would be The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Uh, Again, it's the law of attraction. And if you want to be able to attract the right people, places, and things into your life, this is definitely a read that you want to get into, to dive into. You become what you think about. Again, it's all about mindset. Mindset is paramount. And it's funny because LaShawn and I were just talking on the 3 Mile Fun Walk yesterday, and we were talking about, as entrepreneurs, there are so many facets to an entrepreneur. It's not just being the best baker, it's not just being the best seamstress, the best stylist, but there's so many facets that you need to be successful as an entrepreneur. And one of those things is having a solid mindset, having mental toughness for success, because it's not always easy, as you ladies know, in being an entrepreneur. And so definitely being able to have that law of attraction and operate in those principles. And then lastly, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. As an entrepreneur, you gotta make sure the money's right. You got to be able to have a grip on finances, the financial piece of it. Again, there's so many gamuts and pieces of being in business. Well, if you can't manage the money properly, you're going to be out of business. If you don't have the right mindset, you're going to be out of business. So it's not just being talented or gifted, but you definitely have to invest in personal development every single day of your life. We never arrive. So there should be always some type of read, something that that you take every morning, every day to nourish your mind, so that you can become a better you, which will result in a better entrepreneur.
Yes.
Ooh, I love this, ladies. Oh my goodness, look, I'm gonna tell you, Tam. Think and Grow Rich. Yes, I love Think and Grow Rich because I love the whole mastermind principle as well. Because we can't do it alone, right? So I love when Napoleon Hill hits all about just the importance of having that like-minded community around you, so you can draw from them as well. So I love that book. We were talking before we came on. Love The Secret as well. I think The Secret is what got me kind of just going in general in my own journey.
Yes.
And it was just like, okay, you know what? Now that I did this and I have confidence in this, now I want to go over here and do this. I'll tell you, one of my favorite books is U Squared by Price Pritchett. This was one book that Bob Proctor, he kept it in his pocket. And I was sharing with you ladies, he folded it up here. And I remember seeing him on, one of his conferences where he pulled it out and it was all tattered and everything. But he said he reads it every day. I mean, look at how thin this book is. To be able to read this like
that's a quick read.
That's a quick read,
exactly,
right?
very quick read. I mean, this is only, let's see, it is 56 pages. 56
wow.
pages, right? Of just brilliance, of just a complete brilliance. So U Squared, it's really just formulas on how to multiply your personal effectiveness, right? And take quantum leaps. We're trying so hard.
Right.
This teaches us how to not have to try so hard, but to still be able to get even better results. So
that's awesome.
Great book. I also love Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols. I keep that one by my bed, and I love Lisa. I mean, y'all know that's my. Okay, so abundance now, and there's so many others that are out there, but these are two of my current favorites. I too read the Think and Grow Rich at the beginning of the year just to really get myself kind of
Yeah.
going. Really
Yes.
just kind of between doing the vision boards, I
Mhm.
do a vision board party and I read my book. Okay, and that's how
Yes.
I here every year, and it's really really done great. So thank you, ladies, so much for sharing those reads, and everybody take some notes.
Yes. Yes.
Ladies, the entrepreneurial journey is tough. I mean, we talked about that so many different
Yes.
times. So
Yes.
what motivates you to just keep going? What is that? So we'll start with you, Coach Tammy, this time. What motivates you to just keep going?
Well, for me, it's definitely keeping my why in front of me. The reason for
Mhm.
me being an entrepreneur, that keeps me going. And a lot of times, because I do have multiple teams, that fuels me to keep going as well, because I know I have these groups of people as a leader relying on me to
Mhm.
help contribute towards their growth, their success. I'm a huge people person. I love building people. I love empowering people. And so between my why and why I showed up, why God placed me on this earth to do what I'm doing right now in this season, and then the people that He has entrusted me with, that
Yes.
I just can't leave them hanging, that I have to make sure that I'm doing my part, that I'm showing up, that I'm being the best version of myself every single day. That keeps me pushing forward. Even when, as you just said, Tiffany, it gets tough. And sometimes you just want to go in the room and close the door and be left alone, but you can't. Being totally honest, but you can't. It for me, it won't let me. I can't, because
Yeah.
and so those are a couple of things that keep me fueled, that keep me
Mhm.
passionate. Do I ever get tired? Yes,
Of course.
but you know what? We take a break, take a breather, and we get back up and we keep running and we keep moving. And
Yes.
yeah, so that's what helps me to keep going.
Mm.
I love it.
Mm.
Awesome. Thank
I
you.
love it.
What
Wow.
about you, Coach Garrett?
Well, just like Tammy said, it is the first thing is your reason, your why, and then, yeah, God put you in a position to empower and lead and serve. So that reflection to Him is what we need to look at, because it's all going to turn around and He's going to say, okay, I placed you here to do this. What are you doing?
Hmm.
Like you said, yeah, you want to go sometime and close the door. Like I told my husband one day, I actually wanted to just get in my bed and put the sheet over my
Leave me alone.
head. Okay, leave me alone. And God's like, no, you're to lead. You're supposed to be empowering. You're serving. You got to figure it out. So
Yeah.
what I do when I get like that, I have to take a moment,
Mm-hmm.
go for a walk in the park,
Yeah.
and just let it just slowly come out,
Mm-hmm.
remove all of that from me. So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm back into that space and I'm leading or empowering, because I love educating and empowering women on
Mm-hmm.
the importance of health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know that they do have a purpose. They do have a purpose. I think I mentioned to you last week, Tiffany, when I said about the Proverbs 31 woman. Whether
Yep.
you believe in God or not, you have those attributes. You have those attributes of self-care, which is important.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of your family, taking care of your home, your community. And then, of course, as women, we always look for ways to be resourceful. So that's why we always feel like, oh my gosh, we're doing this, we're doing that. But once you get it harmonized and balanced out, it kind of helps. So for me, knowing that I'm the one that was chosen to educate and empower, that keeps me motivated, because I need to keep on, I need to keep on point. So when someone reaches out to me, I'm there for them. So it's about, serving and just being there for others. So the motivation is like Tammy said, just the team that you have in place or your clients keep you motivated.
Tiffany, if I can piggyback on something that Karen just said, she mentioned self-care.
Okay.
So as entrepreneurs, it is so important to take that time for self-care. If you don't, you will burn out. If you don't, you will go in that room and close the door and not come out. But because we have to take care of ourselves, there's a huge responsibility as an entrepreneur. The Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. And
Right.
so there's a cost to entrepreneurship. There's a cost to be in that leadership position. So we have to take time for self-care. We have to be good to ourselves. We have to take a break. We have to take a breather, whether that's meditation, go for brunch with your sister friend, go get a massage, just spend some quiet time in meditation. Do make sure that we take time for ourselves on a weekly basis. Self-care is not a reward. This is part of our lifestyle.
That's part of our lifestyle.
Something that we should do on a regular basis to maintain ourselves. And so I just wanted to highlight that, because on this entrepreneurship journey, self-care is super important.
Super important.
It really is. And people tend to forget that.
Topic. That's like a whole nother topic.
Totally.
Think about it. But like you said, that's our lifestyle. It's not, oh, I'm going to treat myself to a manicure or pedicure. You should be doing that. That's one thing I've noticed when we were growing up. My mother, every week, hair appointment, nail appointment, pedicure, facial, every week at no fail. And I try my best to do the same thing, because you do feel much better for it. Taking care of you so you can take care of others.
Yes.
That's the only way it's going to work, because if you keep pouring into others and you're not pouring into yourself, then like you said, Tammy, then you're going to be burnt out. And then you go into that rabbit hole.
Yeah. You can't pour out of an empty cup. If your cup is empty, you have nothing to give. And I think that's where many of us, we still, as entrepreneurs, we go, and we don't take time to refill our cup. And that cup is, because we really should be serving from the overflow. What's in the cup should be for us. The overflow is for everybody else. But when we've given and given and given and haven't replenished, we're trying to pour for it from an empty cup, and there's nothing else there. There's nothing for ourselves, and there's nothing to give to anyone else.
Right. Yeah. And that tends to turn into something else. Now you're not happy with what you're doing. Now you're starting to have that resentment for it's now a job. It's not that it's not something that you're passionate about. It's that burnout. Now it's like, oh God, I gotta do this, when it should be, oh, I get to do this. I'm so excited. I get to do this. I get to serve. Yeah. Right. So that self-care is, it's essential. And I know you said weekly. Look, I do it daily. Okay. Even if it's just a 5-minute meditation, even if it's saying, you know what, I'm gonna take a bath every day. I like little baths. So I'm going to 15 minutes to take that bath every single day. It is so important. I walk in my grass. My neighbors think I'm crazy because they're like, "Why are you walking in this grass barefoot?" Because I can, and you know what? Because it helps.
It feels so good, right?
I'm becoming one with nature now.
Hey, connect with it.
God's creation. Yes.
Exactly. I resonate so much with both of y'all. Just everything that motivates you. That why. Even for myself, that why is it. It's when you're serving people. And you've got those teams. I love my magazine team. It's my family, So I know if I don't show up, everybody's gonna be like, "Well, what's going on? Well, what's up?" Well, and everything just starts to kind of crumble because that person that was trying to lead that specific group or that team is now just depleted and not motivated, right? So you have to stay motivated to keep the people around you motivated. That's even with your family.
Yes.
When I'm not motivated with the family, when I come in here and I'm all stanky, the family's stanky, right? So when I'm happy and I'm good and everything, they're good and they're happy and everything is in harmony, right? Isn't that true?
That's true.
That's true. You walk in the door and you are just like, something outside happened to you. The family could be in complete harmony, right? Teammates. They could be in complete harmony, and you walk up in the building, and you just like, what this happened and that happened, and oh my God, you just coming in and being like, hey, and just kind of just let's just
Mm-hmm.
get this. We're gonna deal with this. It's still inside. It's okay, but let's go over here and we're gonna deal with
Yes.
this and keep everything in harmony and not
Yes.
have to have that shift,
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, it has been a learned trait, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's definitely hard
It's
to do
all,
that.
yeah,
Comes with experience.
it's
Right.
yeah, it's
Exactly.
all learned. It's all learned. And you mentioned about the self-care daily. Even before I get out of bed, I'm doing the gratitude and the daily meditation, and focusing on certain scriptures before, because if I don't, it does change the trajectory of your day.
Oh,
Yeah.
your morning is everything.
It's
It
just,
sets
yeah,
the
the way
stage
you
for
start
your
your day.
entire
Yes,
day.
yes,
And
yes,
that's key for entrepreneurs as well. A
yeah.
lot of times entrepreneurs just want to get up at the crack of
Get
dawn.
started.
Let me get this done. Let me get this done. Get this
Yeah.
done. You
Let
have a
me grab my
meditated.
phone. Let me grab my laptop.
Right.
No.
Let me check the email.
Yeah.
You haven't meditated. You haven't
Yep.
prayed. You haven't read anything. You haven't done any affirmations or
Exactly.
visualization.
Right.
All of that's so important to set
Yes.
the stage for your
My day.
day.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Woo.
Wow.
Yeah,
Powerful.
okay. It is so powerful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So let's talk about, okay, we talked about how hard this journey is, right? Let's talk about how did you start your business? Because people are wondering, I mean, how do you start a business? Some people are like, okay, they're on that verge wanting to leave that 9 to 5, but they don't know how. Or you got that person that is still struggling trying to find a job after this whole COVID pandemic thing, right? And they're
Mhm.
struggling, but they have so many brilliant ideas in their head that they can really be able to get out there and flourish. So let's just talk about like how did you just start? How did you start your business? How did you just take that? So we'll start with you, Coach Karen.
Well, for me, let's see. Wow. I think it's like 2002 when I was downsized from corporate America, due to 9/11. And, I held a few jobs in between. And I kept saying to my husband, I know it's more to life than this. I said, because I don't like this getting up at this time, coming home at this time, getting ready for the next. I said, something's missing here. And he kept saying, well, you kind of already do like, you already like to teach people, you like to empower people and things like that. I'm not really paying attention to what he said because I'm just thinking that's just who I am. And so I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. I just don't know. What do I do? Because I don't want to go back to corporate America. So one of my friends, who actually was my financial consultant, he said, I know someone who does network marketing. And so I said, okay, is that like, on the lines of Mary Kay or Pampered Chef or something like that? And he was like, yeah, they have products and services, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So we met with the person and I was like, wow. And I said to my husband, okay, so what are you going to do? Because I know what I'm going to do. And so we agreed to do that. But in the meantime, because it was educating on health and wellness, I said, the fact that we're focusing on the principles of God, how can we make that connection? And so we decided to call our ministry Renew Your Mind Ministries. And so basically the ministry itself was educating on health and wellness, mentorship, self-published authors, anything to do with letting people know that we're here to empower by connecting the network marketing within that educational thing. So that's part of how I got to the Renew Your Mind Ministries, which is my mindset coaching. And then eventually with, the marketing company that I'm with, they did the certification for holistic health coach. So I said, wow, I can actually work those together because we're talking about the mindset and the physical. Now, was the journey and the start easy? No, because I know that, okay, Renew Your Mind Ministries had to go up, register that trade name, making sure no one else had it, let them know what you were doing and what the purpose was, and, get your little EIN number and get your little trade name certificate. And, I'm like, wow, we're ready to get started now. And so it was slow, but I kept saying, you know what? It's a journey. and I'm just going to stay on the journey. I'm just, no matter what it is or what it takes, I'm just going to keep going because this is something that I really want to do. And, the first 5 years, no, it wasn't any type of profit, but it wasn't anything that took us in the red. We kind of always stayed, even. And so we just kept going. Then we started doing seminars and workshops. And then I started branching out because I said, you're always, talking with the men, which is good. I said, I need to branch out and focus on women, women 50 plus. I said, because I've been there. I've had, emotional downturns and all of that. So I can kind of relate to them. And I said, and because women, we tend to forget, as we said previously, we tend to forget to take care of ourselves. So I started incorporating and creating modules that connected both the health and wellness together. So when I did the mindset side, that was separate. And then on the other side, the health side, that was separate, but it still worked hand in hand. So what I'm here to tell you is if your reason why is big enough, no matter what the obstacles that you hit, no matter what people say, no matter what the naysayers say, if this is what you want and this is aligned with God's purpose for you, you keep going, you keep striving to move forward, but always remembering to go, like Tammy said, you go in prayer, you meditate, you just start reevaluating the things you want to do. You want to refresh, you want to replenish, you want to renew, because every time you hit an obstacle, it may knock you back, but when you do that, you'll push forward. And then you have people you can go to, your coaches, your mentors, your community to help you along your journey. So I actually end up, making sure I connected with people so I can get, that proper education or empowerment so that I can keep going. And here we are. This is 2022. So that's basically almost like 11 years later. And I'm still doing what I'm doing. Did I have some backtracks happen? Did I have people leave and stumble and say, okay, I'm done with this? Of course. But did I say that? Of course not. I didn't say that. I'm going to keep going. And to me, if I'm reflecting that positivity, as we said earlier, you're going to draw those people to you. Just giving an example, I have a person that I was talking to, I'd say for 2 years. And she texted me like last month to tell me that she actually took the certification course for the holistic health coach, which is part of the marketing company. And I was just like, wow. And this is what happens when you keep like dripping to people or you keep sharing information. That's another thing in this journey. When you have information and you share wisdom, whether people respond or not, just keep, unless they tell you, stop texting me or emailing me. You can share, did you know? Or FYI, or maybe just inspirational quote, just continue to just build relationships with people. And, the journey, like I said, becomes smoother. And like you said, Tiffany, you'll be like smiling because this is what you really want to do. And this is really what I want to do. And I figure I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And as I go through my journey and I continue to transform, God will place the people, and then all that other activity and finances, that will fall into place when it's supposed to. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Coach Karen. What about you, Coach Tammy?
Well, when starting out as an entrepreneur, the first thing you definitely want to do is to get clear about what business you want to be in. You got to be clear about it. We have so many gifts, skills, and talents within us. But once you identify the thing that you want to do, the business that you want to become as an entrepreneur, get clear about it, know what you want to do. I can remember when first starting out, before I entered into the health and wellness arena, as an image consultant, one of the things that my clients kept saying was, I don't like the way I look. I would try to style them. They didn't like their size. They felt they were fat. They didn't look good in the clothes. And so as a result of that, I was actually led to the fitness, the health and wellness arena, where I'm like, okay, now, so I can style you, but since you don't like the way you look, let's get your body in order. While we're getting your body in order, we're going to work on your mindset too, because you're amazing just the way you are. So don't think that you have to lose 10 pounds to be amazing, because you're already amazing. The weight loss is just an enhancement to your appearance and to improve your health. And but I had to be clear about that. I had to be clear about what I wanted to actually grow and evolve to. So as an entrepreneur, you may start out with one vision, but that vision along the way may grow and evolve into something else where you can expand and help a greater reach of people. So get clear, be clear about it, because if you're confused, your audience is going to be, they'll be confused. As a matter of fact, they'll never find you because you're not clear about it. And then the second thing is to get help. Get a mentor, get a coach, someone that has already been where you're trying to go and is successful in that area. Because a lot of times, again, we can be the best at what we do, but we need some mentorship. We need some guidance. And that mentor doesn't have to be somebody that you talk to physically on it. You can be mentored from afar. For example, Tiffany, being mentored by Lisa Nichols. Right. I never met her personally. I may have, taken some courses, but mentorship just does not involve personally talking to somebody every week and that type of thing. But get some help, get some information, and be willing to invest. Be willing to invest in yourself and be willing to invest in your business. Entrepreneurship requires an investment.
Yes.
You got to be willing to do that if you really want to be successful at what you do. So, Tiffany, those are just some things that I would recommend to entrepreneurs as far as getting started.
Yeah, love it. I have to agree with that. It is an investment because people look at it as a bill when they take like different classes, courses, or reading books. You're investing, like you said, you're investing in yourself. You should think highly enough of yourself.
That's right.
That investment. If it's something you can't do right away financially, then what you need to do is do a map of your finances and start putting things aside for that particular, investment that you're trying to make. Because again, we are always educating ourselves, mentorship, being coached. It's a journey, but you don't do it alone. There's just so many people out there that can help you, and you have to be willing to be coached, mentored, and then you have to be committed to what you're doing as well.
You got to be open to it. You really do. And being able to ask for it. I mean, I did the investing, again, I wanted to, be in the circle with Lisa and that group. And I've been able to continue to stay in that group and continue to reach out to a lot of the coaches that are in that circle and just glean off of them, just amazing things. And I mean, I started my business because I got around people that were doing it. Just like you said, when you get around people that are doing things that you aspire to do, you're going to do it. I mean, I was working full time, had a little side gig going on, working with a few clients. But as I started just getting into those circles and learning more and really starting to believe in myself a little more, because when you put yourself around champions, they really are going to help you believe and know that you are also a champion as well.
Yes.
Okay. And that's really what I did. And as I did that, pandemic hit, I got laid off. So it was because I had already laid that foundation and had been around other people that were doing it. It gave me the confidence to say, you know what? Let me just dust myself off. No big deal. I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to go ahead and do this because I have all the resources around me. I've got all these different people that have shown me what to do.
Yeah.
So since I've invested in this, and let me just share, y'all, when you invest in yourself and it's a business that you're building and you're investing in all these classes and all these things, again, yes, it's important to invest in yourself, but know that this is a write-off.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly.
You're going to get it back anyway. So
Yeah.
The benefit of
That's the
entrepreneurship.
benefit.
and
Yes.
just do it. You may not get the whole entire investment back because there's certain tax laws and things, but
Right.
just know that that investment in your professional development
Yes.
is a write-off.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Tiffany, if I can say, also, never be afraid to be in the room with giants, with people that
Yes.
know more than you, people that are more successful than you. That's the place where you want to be. A lot of times, entrepreneurs can be intimidated by, the greats,
Mhm.
but that is exactly where you want to be. There's no reason to be intimidated. There's
Right.
for none of that. Get in there, even if you don't speak a word, you better listen.
Yeah.
Listen, take
Yes.
notes,
Take notes.
because that's the environment that
Yeah.
you need for growth and success as an entrepreneur.
That's
Yes.
right. That's
And I
right.
was going to flip back to the tax and the write-offs. As an entrepreneur, you get like over 20 plus write-offs. Meals with a client, different things. So keep your receipts and make notations of what it's for. Yeah.
Get there, right? I mean, come on, y'all. There's so many things.
It's really, it's just, and I just
People
love
that put it in
God
insurance.
because this is just like everybody's on the same wavelength. And that Tammy said about, you said giants, and I was just thinking about what is it that I wanted to say, and it was like get in a room where people who are stronger than you and can really pour into you. It's just, this is just amazing.
It's a game changer. I think I can't remember who it was that said it, but it was my husband's father told him that if you want to be an eagle, you got to fly with eagles.
Yes.
If you want to continue to, be a sparrow, then continue to have those people around you. But as soon as you want to soar, you
Yes.
need to get yourself in the room with eagles so you can soar like an eagle.
That's
Yes.
right.
Oh, okay, when he told me that, I was like, yeah, I want to be in the eagle zone. Okay.
Yes. And then you can't allow the sparrows to discourage you, because once you begin to soar and you leave them behind, there's gonna be some chatter. There's gonna be some things said.
Yes.
You better keep soaring.
Better soar. if you gotta shed your talons and so they can come back, you gotta keep going.
Exactly.
It's true because the more you soar, the more you hear that noise. So yeah.
Oh, good stuff, ladies. So let's talk about teams, because we've been kind of touching on teams a little bit here and there. So let's talk about some tips on how to build a team. So what are some of your tips for building a great team? We'll start with you, Coach Kim.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest things is leadership. It all starts, if you're the leader, it starts with you. So a lot of times we're looking at the people first, saying, oh, they don't have this, they're not doing that. But I have to look at me first as the leader and be that person that I want to attract. Yeah. And so when building a team, again, it starts with me as a leader so that I'm able to attract the people that I'm looking for, the tribe that I'm looking to build. The second thing is to lead by example. Mm-hmm. When you're building a team, it's one thing to say, this is what is to be done. But as a leader, you got to be in the trenches with your team. You got to lead by example. And so that's super important. That's super important because people are looking for guidance. Yeah. They're looking for guidance. And so it's important for us. Another thing is you got to pour into your team. Mm-hmm. You got to pour into your team. That's training, that's teaching, that's, guidance. We have to pour into our team. Mm-hmm. Another thing is emotional intelligence. Yeah. Everybody is different. Everybody's not like me. Everybody's not like you, right? That it takes all kinds. Mm-hmm. So we have to have the emotional intelligence to navigate with people. Right. It's necessary. If you don't have the emotional intelligence, you won't have a successful team. They will leave you. because you're just not able to make that connection. So those are just a few things that I say in building a team that you definitely want to have in place.
Oh, I love that. I love that look, I was already, EI was already in my head. Okay. I mean, coming from an HR environment, you have to be very strong in emotional intelligence, and you have to be able to teach managers how to be emotionally intelligent, because if you don't know your team,
Right.
I was managing people 18 to 80, got a lot of different personalities and things. You really got to just get to know people. I mean, to be a team leader, you have to be a people person. You cannot have that attitude of, I'm going to be over here by myself. I'm going to introduce this person to this product and service, and I'm just going to show that I'm going to be over here. No, you have to get to know them, get to know what makes them tick, get to know what upsets them, what makes them happy, things like that, because that's going to be the only way that you're going to have a successful team. I mean, that PI is so vital, and I'm telling you, leaders are missing the mark. Because a lot of leaders out there, and I'll tell you, I've supported some leaders like this, where they're just like, you know what, they have a job, or they're part of the team, so hey, I taught them everything that they need to know. I've gone through the book, so they should be good. No, some people don't just get the book.
Right.
Some people have to see it done, and some people have to have you just link up to them.
Right.
And if you got a handhold, you got a handhold. I mean, they're like, again, that emotional intelligence. Some people have to be handheld. Some people can see it once and they're gone.
Right.
And they're like, don't bother me. That's
horrible.
So just knowing how to balance those personalities is just, it's so just vital. So thank you.
It is.
Yeah. So what about you, Coach Karen?
Well, yes, leaders do lead by example. And just listening to some of the things that you were saying, and I can remember in the beginning of this journey, talking with one of my team leaders, they would say things like, well, I already did the training and they should know it. So basically I did what I had to do and I'm done, but you have no community, you have no family boundaries with your team. You don't have a relationship with the team, because they end up, coming over to me asking questions. And, again, it is about character reflection. So if I'm doing this, I want people to know that I'm there for them and I'm, authentic in what I'm doing. Yeah, you do have different personalities, but as a leader, you can read some of that. Okay, this person's good. You don't need to really get too, involved, but you still need to keep them in the loop. This person, like you said, if you got to handhold them, then that's what you have to do.
That's right.
And maybe eventually they'll feel the need to say, you know what, I think I'm good, but I'm still going to need you. I'm still going to need you, because you're never supposed to, as a leader, to leave your team.
That's right.
To lead the team. You're supposed to be there every step of the way. So it's basically, you have to add value so that they can add value. Yeah. You have to serve so they can serve. Yeah. You have to complement with their gifts, your gifts, so they can complement with their gifts. You have to be positive so they can be positive. You have to be impactful so they can be impactful. Loyal so they can be loyal. Trustworthy so they can be trustworthy. So basically everything that you're doing, these are the attributes that you're instilling in your team. Right. So they're just going by, like Tammy said, by the example that you're leading. Now, if you're doing all the opposite, then most likely they're going to do the opposite. But if they know that you're serving them as a team, then they're going to do the same thing. But again, with the emotional intelligence, knowing your people, because in the beginning you're asking different questions so you can, people know their people's strengths and their weaknesses and where they need help with certain things. Because I'm sure most of us have some call it assessments or, whatever it is, entry paperwork or whatever it is that you need to have in order to know who you're working with. That's how you get to learn about your team as well. and just be that, just be someone that they can feel that they can talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have that standoffish attitude, like you said earlier, Tiffany, that because you're a leader, you think that you got it all together. No, we
It's
don't.
arrived.
Right. Exactly.
Let people know that you're a person too.
Yes.
You know, it's not, you're just not up here on this pedestal. You're down here with them. You have emotion. You do go through bad days. You know, and like you said, Tammy, like getting in the trenches with people too.
Yes.
When you get in the trenches with people, that shows that you know the job.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so many leaders are like, I'm not gonna do that. Well, how did you get where you are?
Exactly.
You got there by doing that job well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people appreciate that so much more.
They do appreciate it so much more. Never give them that feeling like you're too good.
That's right.
Oh, I can't talk to her because she's so standoffish. She thinks she's here, and we're here.
That's how you lose team members, because they feel like they can't touch you.
Exactly.
So after a while, they get frustrated, and they're like,
they just leave.
This isn't for me. Let me just. But then you'll see them like usually like a year later because they really like the product and they really enjoyed it. But most companies are like, if you leave, you got to wait a year before you rejoin. So they'll go ahead and they'll suffer. They'll do without that product for a year, and then rejoin with somebody else that they really like with. And then they go there and they're a rock star, and now that person's making the commission, and they're actually building the team, with that person, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Just give that. I mean, it's not like you're having to give everything. Just give a little bit. Just give a little bit of yourself. Just be human, just a little bit, y'all.
And if you're a people person, that's easy. That comes naturally for you.
Yes.
If you genuinely care about people and you're people, that just comes naturally.
It really is. It's a natural thing. Yeah.
And if I can add one more thing, Tiffany, when building a team, delegation. You can't, as a leader, you cannot do it all. And you have to trust your team to be able to get the job done. People actually want something to do. They want a task. They want an assignment. But as a leader, we can't just keep it all here. Oh, I got to do it. It's not going to be done right if I don't do it. Because what happens is burnout. You're going to get tired. You're trying to do everything. Delegate, delegate, delegate. That's why we have a team. It takes all of our gifts, talents, and skills together as a team. We come together to get it done. Do gift assessments with your team. Find out what they're good at. Don't just assign things. If you know somebody is not tech savvy, don't assign them the webinar setup. because they're not gonna do well at that. That's not in their wheelhouse. So find out, do a gift assessment with your team, find out who does what well, what they're passionate about, and they will take off with that thing and get it done. And there will be so many things off your plate as a leader, and then the team feels like they're all contributing towards success.
That's the award-winning team right there. Definitely. Oh, I love that. So what do you look for in new team members? So I know we're look, I told y'all the time is gonna go and it was gonna go fast. So I had so many more questions. That just means we're gonna come back for part 3. But let's just talk a little bit about what you look for in that new team member. When you're out there and you're, trying to build the team, what do you look for in that new team member? So we'll start with you, Coach Karen.
Well, first, and really, to me, it starts with building a relationship. Just trying to not come right out and start blurting out what I have and the products I have and the services I have, and what I do. Just really come together and, having that conversation, because somewhere in that conversation is going to open up a door for me to say, okay, this, that, and the other. However, as we're talking, I'm looking for someone who is authentic, someone who's, committed and just really understanding their reason why they would want to join or come aboard. Not only that, wanting to be, coached and mentored at the same time when they decide, okay, this is the route I want to take. Because You know, it's one thing to hold somebody's hand, and then there's another thing if you're pulling someone.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like you have to make sure this is really what you want. And you have to understand that the journey is a little, could be a little long and hard, but you have to remain on that road in order for you to be transformed into the person that you want to be as an entrepreneur or network marketing, whatever it is that you're looking to be a part of. But just really, then authenticity and can I trust this person?
Right. Yeah.
And, it's about being loyal to the team, and then like you said earlier, Tammy, figuring out what it is in their gift category that they do, because once they come aboard and you decide, okay, this person's, really ready to go, then okay, and you know what, this is a way you can be a part of the team. This is a way you can help out with being a part of the team. But always, to me, as a leader and bringing people in, I actually do 3 months assessments just to see where people are spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially.
I love that.
Just to see, okay, are you is this something you still want to do? Is this a journey you still want to stay on? And if it is, why? Because that reason why can change.
Right.
And then what is it that you're going to do to get, move forward in this why and, in your transformation? And then how are you going to do it? And then the length of time. Are you ready to really take that time to do it? Is it going to take a year? Are you ready for that?
Right.
Or is it going to take longer based on your goals that you're setting for yourself? Maybe look at, instead of saying you want to make so much a month, maybe you might want to pull down a little bit. Because some people I've seen someone say, and it's good to shoot high. It really is. But then you got to know you got to put the work in. Because I've seen somebody say they wanted to make, and it's not difficult, but okay, they wanted to make, they came in and a month later, they're like, I want to make $25,000 a month. And I said, okay, well, how are you going to do that?
Right.
And what is it going to take for you to do it? And are you ready and willing to do so? Because it is going to be some work. And after a couple months, they came to me and said, can we reevaluate what I'm talking about? Maybe I need to do some adjustments. And we did the adjustments, and things started they was like, oh, wow, now I'm seeing what you're talking about. I said, this is why I think it's so important that you do it on a monthly basis, sometimes a weekly basis, depending on what you're doing. But this is why I try to do it, every 3 months, or just looking at them and say, okay, you're not reaching what you're saying. Do you want to, go back through this or refresh and reevaluate? Because again, our reason whys can change. Our the ways we want to achieve our goals can change. Our goals can change.
Right. Yeah.
So I really think that's important, but it's also making sure that the person is just really ready to be coach, mentor, committed, and their reason why is really why they're doing what they do.
Yeah. No doubt. You got to have the excitement, right? You have to have the passion there as well. I mean, I've met so many people through the years when I've gone through, I've been in so many different companies, and I'll share and like, yeah. Oh my God, I heard that so-and-so's making so much money and this and that. Is that your only reason? Is that your only reason is the money?
Yeah.
Have you, sometimes you even have you actually tried the product? Oh, well, no, so-and-so's making so much money. Well, why don't you try the product first? Why don't you become a client first?
Yes.
Try it out and see how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Because that's how I actually look for team members. I go to my clients that have been on the product for a minute that are having really great results.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey,
yeah.
How would you like to get this product for free? And most people are like, okay, I want to get it for free.
Yeah, you're right. Being a product of the product, because that's one of the best ways, because people will ask you that question. Well, have you tried?
Exactly. And Tammy is definitely a product of her product. Okay. So let's talk about you, Tammy. What do you look for when you're looking for new team members?
Yeah, definitely. Just to piggyback off of what you said, Tiffany, when people come in talking about, oh, this person is making X amount of money, I want to make that. Those are the people that fizzle out quickly, because the reality is they're not going to get to that X amount of money that they see somebody else making within the period of time that they think they should be making the same amount of money. So in their mind, oh, it's not working for me, I'm out of here. So, I definitely look for people that are go-getters, that have drive, because they tend to usually last longer. They know that, this is for the long run. This is not a get rich quick. Right. It's not any of that. But yeah, people that are go-getters, that have drives, people with influence, are some people that I look for with team members, people that are willing to invest in their businesses, that really, really are passionate about the product, and passionate about helping other people. I look for people that are coachable, because if you can't follow the system,
right,
it's not going to work for you.
No.
So a lot of people, may have tons of experience doing other things, and that's awesome. But you got to be coachable. Yeah. If I tell you to go left and you keep going right, you can't blame me for you not being successful, because you're not being coachable. So those are some of the things that I look for with team members that, can definitely prove to be a success with team building.
I bet. Oh my goodness, this has been a great conversation, ladies. We are almost at the top of the hour.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Look, so I just want you guys to just share some. We always got to end with the wisdom, the nuggets, or the words of wisdom. So if you could just give our audience a little bit of words of wisdom, some encouragement to push them through this week. It is Monday, first day of the week. So look, some people are getting up and they just kind of barely getting out of bed. So let's give them a little encouragement, ladies. So we'll start with you, Coach Tammy.
Hey guys, it's Coach Tammy, transformation coach, telling you today, do it now. You've been out there, you've been pondering over it, thinking about it, procrastinating. Should I do it? Should I start the business? I don't know. Should I invest the money? Do it now. Time waits on no one, guys. We live in an age where there is no excuse to not getting started. We are living in the best time ever. Yes. We have everything at our disposal to be successful in entrepreneurship. So there is no excuse. So I tell you today, get started, do it now.
Thank you so much, Coach Tammy. Oh, Coach Karen, some words of wisdom and encouragement from you as well for our viewers for the week.
Awesome. Well, first of all, when you're listening to this podcast, make sure you take plenty of notes and be empowered by what was said. And I say taking notes, but look at something within those notes that you can take action upon. Because we take notes, but we don't do anything with it. Right. And, this is a way to get your entrepreneur journey started. If you don't start, you won't start. It's just like putting the key in the ignition of the car. If you don't turn it, it's not going to start. If you don't open the book, you're not going to read it. So get started, or as Art Williams would say, just do it. Just do it. Get the job done and get it done right, and just do it, because you can do it. It might be tough at first or during the journey, but if you keep going, just do it. Just do it. Just feed in your mind what it is that you want to do, your reason why that you want to do it. Speak it out there every day. Yeah. Every day until you say, this is the name of my business. This is when we're going to register. This is when we're starting. This is the purpose. This is the reason why. And we're going to look up, and we're going to be celebrating whoever you are when you start this business or your journey on entrepreneurship. Just do it, because you can do it. You can do it.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Jared. Oh my goodness, ladies, thank you so much. And I'm just going to piggyback on the just do it. Okay, when you guys are shaking, knees shaking, teeth chattering because you're trying to make a decision, that is your body telling you to do it. Fear and excitement are the same freaking feeling. They give you the butterflies in the stomach. They have you just questioning everything that's going on around you. But you know what? Just do it. You are destined for so much greatness. And if you have that idea that you have just been pondering on, just do it. Because if not now, then when? And if
Mhm.
not you, then who? I mean, that's really, that's the encouragement I got for y'all this week. I mean, if not you, then who? So please go through this week, be great and amazing, do everything just absolutely, just magnificently, because you are magnificently made.
Yes.
Okay, and you can do everything and anything that you put your mind
Yes,
to.
you can.
So this week, we want to wish you the most magnificent Monday, the most magnificent week. Go through it, enjoy yourself, celebrate everything that you do,
Yes.
big or small. We love you from Phoenix Fitness Fanatics. All of the ticker here has had Coach Tammy's information, Coach Karen's information, also the information for you to subscribe to Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, where you can see these wonderful subject matter experts. You can see what they do, what they provide for you, and if you want to get into their in one of their teams, if you're just looking for a home, you're looking for an entrepreneurial journey, there are so many opportunities here. So definitely reach out to these ladies here, get into the magazine, see some of our other coaches as well. I know that you're going to vibe with someone. Thank you all so much for joining us this week. We love you and we'll see you soon. Take care.